Hi folks, it's Mark Smith. I'm coming to you from the beach this week. I have what I think will be an encouraging video for you, especially people who have been through complex PTSD and narcissistic abuse. The title of my video is "It Takes a Long Time to Get to Thriving." So you might say, how in the world, I've got a thing in my ear. These things are so small you forget you have them in there. Something just didn't seem right. You might say, how does "it takes a long time to get to thriving" offer encouragement? Because many times we're sold a bill of goods that if you were horrifically abused as a child and then you reenact that in one or two or three or four of your romantic relationships and you just get shattered into a billion pieces, and we're taught if we buy and download some program and listen to it and meditate, then we'll be all better in a matter of 6 months. And I'm here to tell you that that has not been my experience. But the good news is you get there. I experienced a really horrific shattering beginning in April of 2015. Here we are, almost February of 2020. Sneaking up on 5 years. I'm speaking about thriving today, but I have some sniffles. I have a bit of a cold. I flew to the beach Monday evening, and I swear everybody in the airport and everybody on the plane was coughing and sneezing. I wanted to cover up my nose with there were so many germs. I thought, I'm gonna come down with something, and I did get some sniffles, so pardon my nose blowing and pardon the cold. You can thrive even if you got the sniffles, I guess, is the good news. So there are no magic bullets when it comes to speeding up your recovery process. I've had so many clients through the years, they think, if I watch more videos, if I meditate more, if I go to therapy more, I can speed the process up. And pretty much I think the process is the process. You can work hard on your recovery and that will help you, but it still takes a long time to get to thriving. So what does thriving look like? If you'd asked me 6 months ago, I probably couldn't have shared with you what it looks like from experience. So, but what thriving looks like is you're happy. You're genuinely happy, and you're sourcing yourself. You're not being sourced in your self-esteem by your partner, by your work, by your therapist, by your kids. You're learning how to be happy and whole in and of yourself. You have lots of energy. I'm talking about my experience here. You have lots of energy. You have hope for the future. You're physically healthy. Sunday, one of the characteristics of my PTSD is my hands shake and I lack confidence and I haven't been able to make jump shots. And as I've moved into a place of confidence and thriving, I played basketball last Sunday morning and we finished the day by playing half court 4-on-4. I took 8 3-point shots and hit 6 of them. It was money time. It was fun. There was confidence there. I made jump shots. Work is easy. In your finances, you're getting paid. You're able to be authentic in relationships. Does that mean you're not going to have conflict in relationships? No. If you're authentic, You're liable to have more conflict, but it doesn't have to be traumatizing. The main thing about what thriving looks like is you're simply not dominated by your complex PTSD symptoms. You might have an occasional flashback. You might have some symptoms, from time to time, but they're mild and they're few and they're far between. So I'm going to share with you 11 keys, 11 important things that if you'll do these 11 things, you can get to thriving. But you know what? It's a long time. It's a long time to get to thriving, depending on the severity of your shattering. Some people go through narcissistic abuse and they don't really get shattered all that bad. So it's not going to take you 5 years. Some people get shattered moderately. It's not going to take you 5 years. But if you get shattered into a billion pieces and every aspect of your life is shattered, it takes a long time to get to thriving. So these aren't in any particular order, but the first thing, what happens with us people who grew up with narcissists and who were abused by narcissists is we arrange both in our romantic lives and in our friendships and in our work lives a pattern of constantly being re-traumatized repeatedly by other unsafe and or narcissistic people. I had a rough year in 2019, and I sat down and I made a list of times where I was re-traumatized, and I think there was like 4 experiences that I'd arranged for myself where I'd been re-traumatized. Well, you're not going to get to thriving if you keep arranging for yourself to be re-traumatized. So I've reordered my life where I've provided my own safety, and I'm going to do my very best to keep from constantly being re-traumatized by narcissists, bad guys, assholes, or dangerous people in general. And so far that's been working exceptionally well for me, because recovery is all about momentum. If you have bad momentum, it's like sliding down into the pit of darkness. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't have to wax eloquent about how that feels to spiral downward. But the good thing is that momentum can also move you forward out of a spiral and into thriving. Number 2, time and recovery eventually heals your confidence. And you gotta have a little bit of swagger, not arrogance, but healthy swagger if you're going to be successful in life. The third thing you need to do is build a vision for the future. Over the holidays, I was a bit, in our family, we don't call it confused, we call it cornfused. I was a little bit cornfused about the direction that I was taking with Family Tree and with my own personal work as a healer, where I'm going to be in my relationship, in terms of what properties I'm going to keep, and there was just a lot of questions. But after sorting myself out, I've got a vision for the future. I've mentioned this before in a couple of other videos, but I'm using a tool called Mind Movies. You can go to mindmovies.com. It's sort of like a vision board, except it's visual, where you make videos. And there's a program that's very intuitive and simple. And what I did was I've made a video that's on my phone that I can watch in the morning and in the evening that sort of maps out for me a healthy, affirming, positive vision for the future. And it's very inspiring. So I recommend mindmovies.com, and it's $97 for the program. Best $97 I ever spent, because it's rather than sitting down and writing out my goals, what it's helped me to do is visualize my goals. And it's really important to have a healthy, strong vision for your future where you're thriving and having prosperity. One thing that it's important to do that when you're shattered is it can affect your business. I'm lucky in that I'm a therapist, and all the carnage that I went through just made me a wiser, more empathetic, more aware therapist, and that's been really good for business. But when I'm in the middle of some of my PTSD symptoms, I don't have a lot of energy. You know, that fatigue, and I'm not myself, and I show up to work and I've got my C- game instead of my A game. So as you move into thriving, you'll have your A game, you'll have your swagger, you'll be able to make jump shots, you'll be able to kick ass at work. And there's a big difference in my case between my C- game and my A game. My C- game is still pretty good, but my A game, you know, that'll blow people's minds, and it really helps people, and it helps business. One thing that happens, one of the many things that happen when you go through a shattering, is your finances, pardon my language, gets all fucked up. And when you get into a deep hole financially, sometimes it's hard to dig yourself out. I mentioned stop being in a pattern of constantly getting re-traumatized. Well, in 2019, there were some things that happened financially where I had a pattern of constantly being re-traumatized financially. So now that I'm in a place of prosperity and thriving and strength and momentum, the finances are sorting themselves out, and there's a bright rainbow with a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And it's really important to have swagger in your career, but also be able to get paid and pay your bills and save some money. And really what money represents to me is freedom. Freedom to do what you need to do and do what God has called you to do. Number 6 is get your medication right if you're on medication. And if you have a severe form of complex PTSD and you don't want to take medication, God bless you, but I'm going to. I was on something called Remeron, and it agrees with my system, but it causes you to gain weight. And I finally looked it up, and it said, this medication will cause you in the evening to go on an eating rampage more than any other medication. It will cause you to gain weight. October, I was 40 pounds less than I am right now. But get your medication sorted out. If you have a right medication that agrees with your system, it can really be a boon to your recovery process, and it can help you to thrive. Have a healthy self-care routine. Do your meditation, do your exercises, get enough sleep, go to therapy, do 12-step work, have a rhythm. Have a routine. Recovery thrives in a healthy routine. When you don't have a routine, things can go to hell in a handbasket. Number 8, stop painful, traumatizing relationship warfare. Now, y'all know that I believe that reenacting issues in your marriage or in your romantic relationship is healing and redemptive, but you can go about it in a less reactive manner. If you go about it in a reactive manner, you can just get re-traumatized and re-traumatized. Tell you what, it's really important to have a good life coach or a good therapist. Let me tell you what a good therapist will do. They will put their finger on what's true with a couple. They will listen to both parties, and they will have so much wisdom and insight, they'll be able to call both parties on their bullshit. So many therapists, one brand of therapists, they're on a mission to save the marriage, which is just insanely wrong. That is just the wrong thing. The right thing is to get both people strongly in their own recovery process and getting better. I love the Imago dialogue. I love the Imago work. But the particular therapist that we were seeing with Imago work, all he cared about is us understanding the other person. And the other person, and even yourself, could be in denial, have misperceptions, be victim-y, just be in a really unhealthy place. And his belief was, if you just understand the other person's bullshit, that'll make things better. It don't make things better. It helps you to communicate better, but a really effective marital therapist has a lot of courage, they have a lot of insight, and they can cut through people's bullshit. And they can hold a mirror up in front of somebody and say, dude, this is who you are. Shut up. Shut up and go look in the mirror and deal with your stuff and quit bitching about the other person. I'm getting a little worked up here. So you can get to a place where you're still doing powerful relationship work, but it's redemptive and it doesn't goof up your thriving. Number 9, eat well. Whatever that means to you. I have a couple of daughters who are vegans. To them, that's eating well. Myself, I've been on the keto diet. And when I'm on the keto diet, I'm not eating sugar or carbohydrates, and I feel better. Ever since I was on that medication that sort of shifted my metabolism, normally on the keto diet, I lose weight quite profoundly and quickly, but I haven't lost a pound in a month of this diet. But you know what? I feel fantastic. And I can look back at when did I start feeling fantastic? As soon as the holidays got over and I got off the Christmas cookies and I got off all the mashed potatoes and gravy and got on a diet that agrees with my system. I guess I just had 10 points because I have routine down here. I think I covered routine. The last thing, number 10, is as you get stronger, you'll be able to develop coping mechanisms that can help you deal with sort of the normal pain in life. I've got a daughter who's 27, and she has bipolar disease, really awful. And she's been in the hospital probably 5 times in the past 4 months. And it's easier for her to drift into a bad place, and it's harder for her to come back, and it's just so heartbreaking. It's almost like she's 80% dead and 20% left being herself. So it's hard. It's hard. Life is hard. Bad things happen. Kobe Bryant gets killed. My God, with his daughter. That's terrible. Bad things happen. We need really strong coping mechanisms just to deal with the normal things in life. One of my best friends from high school a year ago in January, happiest married fella I know, his wife got brain cancer and she died within a matter of months, 2 short months. Bad stuff happens. So thriving can happen even when family members are sick. Thriving can happen even if you're having marital problems. Thriving can happen even if you have the sniffles. Because positive energy is bigger than life's circumstances. So thriving can come your way. Just keep putting one foot in front of another, my friend. Keep crying. Keep leaning on your friends. Keep going to your therapist. Keep reading healthy books. Keep watching videos. Don't watch too many videos. I think there's a lot of YouTube videoaholics out there. And you will eventually get to a place where there's a whole lot more positive energy than there is negative energy, and it's really delightful. It is delightful, and I've really enjoyed it. So that's what I had to share with you today. I'm wishing you thriving. I'm wishing you blessings. I'm wishing you faith. I'm wishing you some swagger. I'm wishing you that you would make some jump shots. Thank you for watching, and God bless.